Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at Janie Sweets, and in this episode I'm coming at you with a tutorial on how I made this super simple flapper cake inspired by the movie The Great Gatsby. So if you want to learn how to make it, keep on watching. So to begin, I am starting out with some gum paste that I'm going to roll out pretty thinly, and that's to make the feather that's going to be on top of it. Now I'm putting a lot of cornstarch on there because I don't want it to stick to my pasta machine. Now this pasta machine is awesome to get fondant or gum paste really thin. I will leave a link below to where I found this particular one, so if you're interested in purchasing it, you can. So I've rolled out 2 pieces of gum paste very thinly, and then using just some water, I'm going to glue them together with a toothpick right in the middle. Now I'm going to roughly outline how I want the feather to look like using my pizza cutter, but you can also just use a knife or any tool to cut it will work just fine. Now I have here a fondant tool, but you could use a toothpick or a knife again to make the lines that are going to resemble the feathers. So just make lines just randomly, very organically, all over the entire piece of gum paste. Now you want to do that to the front as well as to the back of the cake or the fondant. Now put it to dry, preferably overnight, but at least for 8 hours to the side. And in the meantime, I'm covering an 8-inch cake with black fondant. And then I'm going to cut off all the excess. I'm also going to cover my board in that same black fondant just to keep the theme going. Just cutting off the excess of the fondant on the board. Now you have seen me do this before. I'm just using a cake drum the size of the actual cake to cut out the center of the fondant because I want the cake to sit flush in there. So just remove the center and then clean it up a bit. That way you can add your cake right to the middle. Now in the meantime, I'm going to work on the fringe. So I'm rolling out some black fondant the same way that I did the white one, but this time I'm also going to put it in the, I guess, the spaghetti or linguine side of it because I want to create the fringe that way. Now just cut off pieces and then glue them onto the bottom of the cake with some gum glue. Now this is the exact same method that I used on this cake that I made a while back. On the bottoms here you can see I used white fondant to make the fringes, and it turned out beautifully. So like I said, continue placing them. It doesn't really matter how well the top is flush because you're going to cover it. So once you're done with all of that, I have here a jewel tone mold that I found. If I can find the exact one, I will link it for you guys below in the description box, but I'm just going to cover the entire top of the cake with it. Now for the bottom of the cake, I'm rolling out just a long piece of fondant and I'm going to cut it roughly about a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, I would say, thick. And then I'm going to glue it on the bottom of the skirt. Once I reach the end, I'm just going to cut it off with a pair of scissors, and then there you go. Now again, I have this jewel tone mold that I am using to place a brooch right at the center here, and then I'm going to place another one at the top as well. Now to color this gold, I'm using just regular gold luster dust diluted with some vodka, and I'm going to just brush it onto the entire line of the top and then also a little bit at the bottom. Now I want the fringes to stand out, so I'm just going to put it in just randomly on the fringe. I don't want it to completely cover the entire bottom. So once I am done, I am also going to dye the feather in the same gold. So using the same method with my brush and my gold paint, I'm going to paint the entire feather. I'm then going to place it right onto the cake. And then, like I said again, I'm going to add a brooch right at the top just for some added interest. And also it's going to cover that stick, the skewer that you see. Once I was done, I'm going to write the message at the top. It was a client of mine's 55th birthday, so I'm going to write Happy 55th Gatsby Birthday, Wanda. Once I was done with that, I'm going to glue my ribbon at the bottom of my board, and there you go. This is how you make a Gatsby or flapper inspired cake. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. As always, you can check out my last video if you click on this invitation to your left. I am on Instagram as well as on Facebook. All of my socials are at Janie Sweets. Subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any of my future videos. That is it for this week's tutorial, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you next time.